So now that we've got the official Marvel's Avengers extended gameplay trailer, I can make a proper video on it. Because the original reveal trailer only had like 20 seconds worth of gameplay, and the leaked cell phone footage was borderline incomprehensible. And it just doesn't feel right making a video based off footage the general public wasn't meant to see anyway. But now we have a whole 18-minute trailer to talk about and dissect and discuss. And first things first, it looks like they actually improved the character models quite a bit, most notably Black Widow's face. Captain America's suit looks bluer. It's more aesthetically pleasing in my opinion. It looks a little more accurate to his comic book counterpart. I'm sure if you didn't like the heavy tactical look in the first place, it hasn't changed. I don't mind it. I'm always down for a new look for characters that we've had for decades, and there's always the unlockable costumes. Thor's beard still looks a little weird. The game is still a ways out, so there's plenty of time to improve that, but it's not the worst anyway. But looks aside, because that's not what we look for in a video game if we want to have a long, meaningful relationship. It's how they make you feel when you're breaking the bones and ending the lives of helpless hired goons as a big green monster. I gotta say, I'm happy with how the core gameplay looks for this game. The combat looks visually striking and impactful. It seems to be a hybrid of God of War 2018, which we totally called on autosave in the day. Don't worry, I'll bring back the podcast eventually, I promise. And the Arkham games. If you look above the enemies' heads, you see like a little symbol when they're near the player character, probably signaling that you could do a counterattack. I know I've said in the past that I'm over games taking inspiration from the Arkham games, especially comic book games, but I don't get that cheap knockoff vibe that a lot of games kind of gave me, like the Amazing Spider-Man games. They were kind of trying to emulate that free flow combat from the Arkham games, and that's what sort of give this game its own identity. It doesn't look like it's trying to emulate that free flow combat. It looks like a little closer to the God of War style. If you notice, every time a hit lands, it has like a slight freeze, and to me that's like super satisfying. It just gives me those sweet endorphins when that slight freeze just gives it that impact when a hit lands. And I even see some hints of Marvel's Spider-Man with the ability to mix aerial and ground combat with characters like Thor and Iron Man. It looks like Crystal Dynamics is actually delivering on their promise on making each character feel like their own. I wouldn't say if it's to the extent that they can star in their own video game. You'll always feel that underlying foundation for the combat mechanics. Because, is it even possible to take Hulk Ultimate Destruction, for example, and the Arkham games combat and the combat mechanics from Devil May Cry and have them exist in the same game? Is that even possible? Like, in terms of programming and coding and all that bullshit that I don't know. Game developers, because I know a lot of you are watching, please give me an answer. But even if that's not the case, they managed to put a whole third-person shooting mechanics for Black Widow. If you take Iron Man's gameplay footage and Hulk's gameplay footage side by side, they look totally different. They have a whole different set of moves that are exclusive to them, and systems that are exclusive to them, like Iron Man being able to fly and shoot people and auto target people, and you see missiles fly at them, and all that crazy stuff. Captain America can throw his shield around, and I think it's as good as it gets, to sort of say that, yeah, all these characters have their own combat system. And this is all looking at the combat system in a vacuum, not taking things into consideration like RPG elements, how you're going to build your character, traversal mechanics, the whole region thing. We don't know how exactly open this game is going to be that will allow for traversal mechanics and stuff like that. Side quests, elements that will further support giving each hero their own unique identity. We've still got yet to see the multiplayer mode, like this tutorial level is really heavy with scripted set pieces. I'm still wondering how the free-form gameplay is gonna look. You know, how is it gonna look when there's multiple players on the field, and how can you interact with them? You know, are there fusion moves? To what extent can you combine your powers and work together to take down bigger bosses and stuff like that? I don't want to touch on story elements. I've never been really good at analyzing and breaking down what the narrative can offer. Instead, I'll refer you to my good friend Josh at Panels to Pixels, who's pretty much nailing who one of the main antagonists can be in this game. And he's also rambling about hexagons or something. I don't know. Somebody help him. And also Xavier, who's been pretty much silent on the game up until this new trailer came out, gave his thoughts on a video. One funny thing I want to point out, though, from the cutscenes is how Hulk seems to be the first one to spring into action when shit is falling apart. There's a part where there's a truck or a car or something falling off the bridge, and he just instantaneously jumps and grabs the car and saves it. And there's also another part where the bridge is falling apart again, and one of the cables is like flying around, and he jumps and grabs it to try and keep the bridge from falling apart. And Black Widow has to give Thor and Iron Man an order to do something. Like, did you forget what your job is? Go be a superhero. Take cues from the guy whose main thing is breaking shit. Do your job. So that's my video, guys. Really short one. I already made a Marvel's Avengers video a couple months ago during, you know, the whole E3 reveal. I might have spoken about some stuff there I didn't hear, so if you want to check that one out, definitely give it a watch. There's still a lot we don't know about the game. You know, we got a new trailer, and I just wanted to give my quick thoughts on it. I want to say thank you. I hit 1,000 subscribers. I haven't acknowledged that yet on this channel. It's been a while since my last video, but yeah, 1,000 subs. I never thought I would have got to this point. But so I want to thank you all who joined me on this journey, and you know, here's to 1,000 more. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Subscribe for more superhero related stuff, superhero video games. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 review is coming. But as always, thanks. As always, guys, thanks for watching.